Hello everyone, welcome to the Spurs News. First off, we're going to get to the game reaction. Second, we're going to say that we predicted the game correctly again. We've been predicting pretty awesomely for the games that we do predict. Unfortunately, we don't predict all the games here at the Spurs News, but if you do want us to do so, let us know in the comments below. And then we're going to talk about a few gossips that are still hanging out there about the Spurs, and then we're going to have a few predictions for the games tonight and tomorrow in the Premier League. Don't forget to change your team for the Fantasy Premier League and join our league if you like. Thank you for watching the Spurs News. Let's spur our way to glory. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Alright, let's get to it. First off, Harry Kane got to a landmark of 200 goals, which is an amazing, impressive landmark. Few people will get to that. But the most impressive thing is, he said he doesn't even know that he did it. And he said that if he surpasses any other records, he's sure the media will let him know. Now, why I'm so impressed and happy for Harry Kane is because these stupid reporters like the ESPN people, he's proving them wrong, and he's putting them in a difficult position when they're commenting about him. If they can make fun of him behind camera, I'm sure they don't love him on camera or in any place, because these people are sick in the mind. This is the way it is. Life is just disgusting sometimes. Now, let's talk about the moments during the game. The first moment or big chance was missed by Harry Kane, and I have to say that was one of the best or most impressive actions in the game that happened, which was an unbelievable pass by Harry Winks, which he never does, or he does very few times. He does it very rarely. Now, Harry Kane did blast this over and beyond anybody too. So I was kind of disgusted because he missed it, but then he came back and took a shot from nowhere and hit the post. That was unbelievable. I was on top of this world when he did that, because if that went in, he just showed that he's a danger from anywhere and anytime, and we know that, but you know, we want to see it more often and all the time. Now, the third moment during the game that was the most impressive to us here at the Spurs News was, how did Lucas Moura from Sao Paulo, I don't know if he's from Sao Paulo, but I'm just assuming now, don't hold me to it. Sao Paulo delivered such a delicious, amazing, ripped, great cross to Harry Kane to header without any challenge. Now, Eric Dyer did help him in that because he maneuvered and distracted the defenders, but it was awful defending. And a lot of points there to talk about this game, but we have to focus on one thing. Giovani Lo Celso, yes, Giovani Lo Celso did play good and everything like that, but he's not as sharp as he was last season. And when Mourinho talked about him at the post-match conference, a lot of people were saying Mourinho fraud, Portuguese fraud, blah 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 blah. The tweets are here, you can check them out. But we do agree with Mourinho that Giovani Lo Celso can be better and should be better, because he did show that he has that potential last season. We're also going to talk about an important thing, is Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale is moving and is showing that he can be a better player, but the problem is his fitness is not yet there, and the other problem is his speed is a lot lower. I saw him try to pull off a double, which means he just put the ball in front of him and in front of the defender, try to speed through like he used to do back in the day when he was a youngster, but he couldn't pull it off, and it was obvious he's so much slower. Now, his reading of the game is much better, and we saw that when he was pulling into the pockets and playing a number 10 and he was assisting. He did contribute to the game and help a lot. Now, Gareth Bale is a lot. We're gonna wait a lot longer to get into what he can do in this team. I wasn't impressed. I was disgusted, be honest, with the way Harry Winks played and how sloppy his kind of tackles were and some of the defending by Eric Dyer. but they were very weak, so that's fine. Number 4, the attitude was there, and they were challenging from the get-go, and they were putting pressure. It was like a tornado that started when the referee whistled. They were streaming towards the defenders, our players, and that's what I liked about this game. But the game did become boring in the second half. It was slow and nothing was going on, be honest, until Heung-min Son came on and changed a little bit. But my boy, Lucas Moura, was impressive on top of his game. I think he was one of the best players on the field, if not man of the match. Let me know who was man of the match for you during that game. Now, these impressive performances put us in a limbo, of course, especially on Mourinho. But Mourinho did tweet that the game, he was eating chips, and he was saying, this is how I feel when we don't play good, but we still win. I agree with him. We didn't play impressive game. We just won. That's why people are not saying anything bad about the game. Now, we're going to talk about how Dele Alli has no future because Giovani Lo Celso overperformed, and Bale could potentially play in that position. So Dele Alli is out of the picture, out of the team. And it's sad to see that someone like him will not have a chance again because his attitude and his training is not there. Just very sad, to be honest. Listen to this gossip, and don't say that you heard it, it's my fault, but according to El Clasifico in Spain, that the reason Roguillon had to let go or move on from Real Madrid was because the coach's son couldn't get along with him in the youth team. And I don't know how much you want to believe this story, but this is what they're saying. And this is one of the reasons Roguillon was moved to Tottenham Hotspurs. Now, if you want to believe it, that's okay, but Roguillon is also saying that he is opening the door to move back to Real Madrid. And that's very sad for us because I don't know how we're going to find such a great left back with that low amount, because the buyback is only 40 million. And we know today's market, any player is worth more than that, especially if they're that good. Jamie Carragher, just like Gary Neville has an opinion about everything, as we see. Jamie Carragher is saying Tottenham Hotspurs are not going to be contenders for the league. At the Spurs News, we think this season is going to be it, and we're going to be the contenders for this league. I'm not saying we're going to win it because Liverpool are still very good and Leicester are looking very good, but the other teams, not so good, to be honest. Manchester City is dropping a level, a notch, and I don't see them competing for the league. Arsenal, not there. I don't think Chelsea is there. And the only two teams that could be competing, honestly, are Liverpool and Leicester City. Let's see, Everton is a potential, but not so much. As we said, please don't forget to change your fantasy team before 8:30, so that's about 2-3 hours from now if the video gets released soon. Remember, you can join our league as well. Let's go to the games that are being played today. Brighton Burnley. If you do care, Brighton and Burnley are going to play today at around 8:30 p.m. In European time. We're talking about a game that's going to be very competitive because they're both at the same level, but I think Burnley are facing a difficult time right now because of the injuries they have, but they're a very solid team still. Brighton looks very competitive and very good, and I don't know why Mopé didn't play against us, but they have very good players and they could hurt anybody. Just the way we barely beat them, and I have to say Brighton should be winning this game 2-1. Southampton Newcastle, very cool, very competitive. I think both teams are improving. Both teams are showing that they have an edge and they have invested in their squad. Now we are seeing a revelation through Danny Ings, and Danny Ings has shown that he can do a lot of damage to any team. So this is going to be very hard to predict, but we're going to go with Southampton because they are showing a little bit more competitiveness and they're showing a better attitude during the games. So we're going to give it to Southampton 2-1. Now tomorrow's game, first game is going to start at 3:30 p.m. European time. Everton, Manchester United. This is the game that I think will make or break Solskjaer. Let me know what you think. But Everton should be winning this game 2-0. Two goal difference. I don't want to say 2-0, but it's a 2-goal difference. Crystal Palace, Leeds United. I think Leeds United are going to take this one. Unfortunately for Crystal Palace and Zaha, because they are showing that they studied every team and they can compete and be neck to neck, whether it's Liverpool or any other team in the league. They've shown they're not an easy bite. So they are going, and especially their forward, Bamford, has been scoring a lot of goals. So, but their, let's say, X factor is their coach. No other reason they are competing or they're being so competitive. Chelsea, Sheffield United. Now Chelsea is the Chelsea that I understand they're supposed to be. Then Chelsea should be winning this game at least by a 2-goal difference. But Sheffield United should be giving them a very hard time. Sheffield United did have a hiccup while starting this season, and it was unpredictable, to be honest, because they had performed outstandingly last season. So Chelsea should be winning, especially with Werner and the likes of Ziyech and others that have joined during the summer. West Ham, Fulham. I don't know how Fulham won a game, but they did. Now West Ham should be able to win this game, especially after the aggressiveness and attitude they showed against Spurs when we tied against them. Now, this is not going to be a walk through the park, as we've seen. Every team is competitive in the Premier League, but West Ham should be able to win by a 2-goal difference. Thank you for watching the Spurs news. Let us know if you want to see more videos about other things, and let's spur our way to glory. Have a good night. Spurs news, tracking down every detail. Transfer news, every gossip, every finished move. Game predictions, analyzing